Good, happy Sunday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Bretton Wood Police investigating deadly shooting. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
Instead of shoveling snow this season, get your own Kubota BX tractor with your choice of snow removal equipment. Choose a PTO-powered front-mounted snowblower, rotary broom, or snow blade to clear your path. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 84 months. Plus, get up to $1,000 in customer instant rebates when you buy a BX Series tractor and 2 qualifying implements.
Where best meets second to none.
Sure, it's just a terrible situation here in Brentwood this evening. Police say 2 people were out target shooting when one of them was accidentally shot. Now, police aren't releasing too much information at this hour, but what they can say is that the victim is a 51-year-old male from Sandown. Police say he received a gunshot wound to the chest. The incident happened just before 4 o'clock this afternoon over at the Deer Hill Wildlife Management Area on Pine Road. Now, CPR was done on the victim until an officer arrived who then took over until medics made it to the scene, but the victim was pronounced dead a short time later. Now, police say target shooting is not allowed in that area. However, only hunting is authorized, and there are signs posting that notice. Now, the identities of those involved are not being released at this time. Police here in Brentwood say they do not expect to release any more information this evening. They also say the county attorney's office is investigating this incident. Live here in Brentwood, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. School van driver accused of selling heroin from van. The driver of a minivan used to transport special needs students was fired Friday after she was charged with selling heroin from the school van. Dasi Montes, 43, a driver for the Acceptance Education Collaboration of Nantucket, was arrested Friday morning after an alert police sergeant working a detail at the entrance to Cushing Memorial Park witnessed a drug deal, said Lieutenant Patricia Griggs, Farmington Police spokeswoman. The event unfolded after the Sergeant Timothy O'Toole saw Montes, who drove a white minivan that had a school sign on the roof, turn into a nearby parking lot. Moments later, a car pulled up to the park next to Mortiz. Juna M. Meadow Ortiz, 33, a passenger in the van, approached the driver of the car and sold her packets of heroin, Gringers said. As the car driven by Cornine Garland, 33, of Farmington, left the parking lot, O'Toole signaled for her to pull over. When O'Toole approached her, Gertiel was shaking and nervous. She had clenched fists, and when the officer told her to open her hand, she refused, Gringas said. eventually threw the drugs on the ground outside of her car. Police picked up the envelope and found 2 sandwich bags containing heroin. A field test confirmed it was heroin. Police then stopped Monteith, who had also left the parking lot at about 10 o'clock a.m. on Dudley Road. An envelope that matched the one found near Gentile's car and containing heroin was found in the van, Gringas said. Police charged Mortiz and Miranda Ortiz, both of 24 Wilson Drive, Farmington, with distributing heroin, conspiracy to violate the state's drug laws, and a parking zone violation. Police charged Gentile of 99 Wilson Drive with possession of heroin and conspiracy to commit a crime. CP, 10,000 customers will likely be without power after deadline. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 in Maine.
Looking good in here. Now it just needs a TV.
We can just order one on Target.com and pick it up in the store. Easy. You got this? Can you add a vacuum to that order?
Order online at Target.com and pick up in store.
Right now, crews from Central Maine Power are probably not all that well rested. They've been working around the clock to restore power to thousands of Mainers who are still in the dark from Monday's storm.
This has been going on for days now. Thousands of linemen from 14 states to Canadian provinces joining this effort. News 8's Erin Dixon is live in Portland this morning. She's been talking with CMP officials about their recovery. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning, Joe and Kathleen. Joe, as you said, these crews may not be well rested, but I have to say the many that we have seen pull out this morning have been very friendly, waving. They must know that they're nearing the end. They're nearing the end. Can you talk a little bit, Gail, about what morale is like at this point for the crew?
People's spirits are still very high. They're smiling. Everybody's still getting along with one another. And, we've got a great team here, not just within our own company, but with all the mutual aid crews and all the people in the offices, working behind the scenes and working in support roles. Everybody's the spirits are still up. We all want this to be over as soon as we can finish it up. And, so we're keeping our spirits up.
And in terms of those people who are still without power, what do you have to say to them at this point?
And we know that, all the progress we've made, we know that if you're still without power, we know they want their power back. We know they want to know when it's coming back. And we want them to know that we are going to be out here, even beyond the end of today. We're going to be out here every day until we get everybody back up. And at this point, in many cases, we're literally putting one customer on at a time. That's the point we are at. And it's slow going, it's labor intensive, but we're still committed to working 24/7 until the last customer is back up.
And, we have spent our morning here, and we really just want to thank the crews. Do you think that you've got that response from people out, that they are thankful for all the work that's been done?
They are. There are a couple of things. People have expressed their gratitude, but what's really touching is when people express concern for the crew's safety. I mean, from the minute it started until, right now, people are still saying, stay safe, don't rush and forget about safety. And that's really touching that everybody is concerned for our crew's safety. It is a difficult job. There are a lot of risks involved, and we're glad to see that our customers share the same commitment for safety that we do.
Of course, and the storm, what a week it has been for both crews and those without power. Of course, we're all happy to see this progress made, and still some more work to be done, as we said, guys, but how far we've come in this week.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Hopefully people will get their power on soon. Also, today is a big day in New York City. Today is the race day. Time for the TCS New York City Marathon today. Runners around the globe have descended upon New York for the 47th running of the TCS New York City Marathon. More than 50,000 runners will be participating in the marathon, which began in 1970 with 55 people crossing the finish line. Last year's race set a record of the world's biggest marathon with 51,394 finishers. The world's best runners compete in the marathon along with thousands of everyday runners of a handful of celebrities including Kevin Hart, Carly Coles, and former giant Tiki Barber. Many streets will be closed for the marathon, which takes runners on a 26.2-mile cross through the 5 boroughs in New York City. Channel 7 is your home for marathon coverage. And there you go on that. A big day. We will keep you updated on the marathon today, right here on the Riley King Network. Analysts, Trump vows to stay fresh on Girling Asia trip. President Donald Trump loves superlatives. Biggest, best, highest, strongest. All words he frequently sparkles into his comments about policy and politics. White House officials are now picking up his habit when talking about his trip to Asia, repeatedly emphasize that this is the longest trip to the region by an American president in more than a quarter of a century. 13 days, 5 countries. It's a grueling schedule for President Trump and his staff. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll see you back here later on for a news report. Goodbye, everyone.